Can I do the sexy voice? My Quad Stern voice?
Yes, please do that.
Okay.
Give us
So after Rome, you amazing outro. This has been Peanut Tillman and Roman Harper. And thank you all for tuning in to the NFL Player Second Acts podcast. We talk to y'all later. We out. Oh, that was nice. No.
That was terrible.
That didn't do nothing to you?
That didn't do anything. Like you gave me no enthusiasm. Nothing.
Don't.
At least act like you're trying to sleep with me if you're going to do all that. Like, give me something.
I just did. That was it. That was my Hail Mary. Didn't do nothing to you. No. Okay.
Get that out of you. You got batted down.
All right. I just got to work on it. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the NFL Player Second Acts podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Peanut Tillman, and as always, I got my guy with me, the Deacon, Roman Harper. What's up? What up, Rome?
What's up, Peanut? And you don't always have me. Sometimes I actually go a little bit of a solo act on this thing.
You do. You do.
Last week we had Eric Wood, the former Buffalo Bills center. Great dude, amazing man of faith. He has his own podcast. Really, really great dude. And also, he gave me a little bit of info, Peanut. You know what? To try and deal with some of my anger, some of my anxiety, or things I want to take out. Yeah. Sometimes, dude, I get angry. It's more of a passive-aggressive thing.
You're not an angry person.
You're right. I'm not an angry person. It's more of a passive aggressiveness I have that sometimes just kind of lashes out. So if I'm not lifting weights, I need to do something. He said, you know, Roman, write down 3 things you're thankful for every morning that you wake up. You know what? I've implemented this in my life, Peanut. It hasn't been a bad thing.
How's that been going?
It's been going pretty good. The only thing that's bad is that I put it on a dry erase board in front of my mirror in my bathroom, and it wasn't like dry erase pen. So it's kind of been stuck there for like 3 days now. So, but other than that, though, it's good, dog. It's been awesome. It was a great thought. It was a great thought.
I like it. I listened to it. You're Barbara. I know you want to be like Oprah, but you're still like Barbara Walters in the sense of how you conduct these interviews. But you're getting better. I'm chasing you. You're who I aspire to be when I get older. You're doing good. I like it. I like what I see. What I hear.
Man. Hashtag goals. All right. Well, look. How about this? How about all the listeners out there? I want to say personally, thank you, Charles and I do. Thank you. Could you continue to spread the word about this podcast? Give us, a rating, a review, and wherever else, make sure you hit that follow button as well. And to wherever else you listen to your podcast at, whether it's Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever else you listen to, make sure you click subscribe to this podcast. We're going to keep giving you more and more information, more and more former players talking about their all second acts, and really diving into so much of their these former players' great lives.
So, to all those listening right now, we don't have any guests today. It's just gonna be Roman and I. We're the guests. We're gonna attempt to interview each other. One, not difficult, but I know a lot about him, so I'm going to try to peel back some of the onion and get him to open up about some things that I possibly don't know. So we're going to treat this like a normal episode, and Rome and I will be interviewing each other on this episode of our podcast.
All right, man. Don't be whispering, man, making it all weird, bro. It's good.
I'm not.
About each other's second acts. We've asked all the questions. We haven't answered any. So I think this is a good time to kind of dive in, Peanut. Let's do this thing, bro.
So let me give you I'll kick it off. First, like we do with everybody, I got to read your resume. So you are a second round draft pick out of University of Alabama, 2006. What were you, 36, 37?
When?
Your pick.
43rd.
43rd. Okay.
You never forget that. Nobody ever forgets.
No doubt. You played 11 years in the NFL. You made 2 Pro Bowls, been in 2 Super Bowls. You're 1-1. You won the Super Bowl in 2009 with the Saints. Recently inducted into the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame. And now you're a broadcaster with the SEC Network and somewhat of a professional golfer in your own mind.
Dude, that is one of my goals, is that I just want to make the cut on the senior tour. Like, that's it. So I got to, I'm like 50, 60, 70. And the best thing about making the cut is that there is no cut. So if I just show up, I'm going to make the cut. So that's a goal of mine outside of it. Thank you for that, Peanut. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we need to go golfing. I need to see your golf. We've been golfing one time.
Yeah, I don't like golfing with you. You're not fun. You get bored very easily. You're looking at squirrels and stuff. You're not into it.
ADHD kicks in.
Yeah, you totally ruined my golf game. All right, let me read Peanut's resume. You ready for this? Peanut, he played 13 seasons in the NFL. He was also a 2-time Pro Bowler and made a first-team All-Pro in 2012. He played in 2 Super Bowls. He won none. It's okay. All right. It happens. It wasn't his fault. In 2013, he was the Walter Payton Man of the Year, which is one of the best honors you can get throughout the NFL. Everybody knows about it. You actually get a special shield on your jersey from that moment on to carry on your legacy. Not everybody has that. So that's a special one right there. He's the creator of the Peanut Punch. He, AKA now, is a turnover liaison, I would say. He kind of goes throughout the league and kind of helps teams create turnovers or preaches to them about that. He's also in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. That's really cool. Now he's an international man of mystery who's done TV. He's had a book written about him, which we have in our house right now for our kids. And he runs the Charles Tillman Cornerstone Foundation. Charles Peanut Tillman, welcome.
Thank you. I guess I should have did the same thing with you. Welcome to the show. But yeah. So now that we got that all done, we got some good resumes. I hope you're.
Hold on. I got to ask one question though.
Yes, sir.
Something that was on your resume: 2 Super Bowl losses. Which one hurt more?
Probably the second one, because I didn't get a chance to play in it, and I really think that I'm not gonna say I was a missing piece to us winning Super Bowl 50, but I really think that. I think I could have helped.
No, there's no doubt you could.
You know what I'm saying? I think I could have. I think I could have helped, and it hurt more because I wasn't actually on the field. I tore my ACL the last game of the season. But yeah, it hurt. But if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't change anything. You know, I partially tore my ACL. I don't know, halfway through the season, sat out 3 weeks, and just said, you know what, this is a great team. I'm rolling the dice. I know it's partially torn. It'll never heal. I'll have to get it healed or repaired at one point. I'm going to roll the dice. And I'm proud enough to say that I actually played 5 games with a partially torn ACL in the National Football League, and I still held it down. Punching out balls, getting interceptions, like I still was able to do my job. And I literally put everything on the line for that 2015 season for us in Carolina. And great group of guys, great group of men. You and I, just the entire city of Charlotte. That was a very special year for myself and my family. It was
it was great. I got to meet your family for really the first time in that one season that you came here. Our wives hit it off. We're great friends, still continue to be great friends. And, you know, I remember when you partially torn your ACL, which there is no partially for all those out there. You can't partially tear an ACL. Like, well, you can, but it's a torn ACL at the end of the day. And Peanut continued to prolong this thing. He tried to rehab it. He was doing things to try and keep trying to stay healthy to be able to get right back out there. They didn't put him on the IR. You were a true warrior. I couldn't believe that you actually came back and played some games after it. You had a huge knee brace on, and just the fact of you continue to battle through for that, man. It really meant the world to that team, to us as a group, and it really showed me the little bit of an insight. Because, dude, I would have sat out and just been like, whatever. But I mean, Peanut's a true warrior. So hats off to you, brother. And I got a better understanding of who you are. And I just want the people to know that. I didn't think you were going to say Carolina, but since you did, I just want to put that out there that my man battled through it and nobody knew until it was all dead and gone.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's something you brag about either, though. I don't know. I just, man, for all those listening, you play this game to win Super Bowls. Like that's what it's about. When it's all said and done, if you played your entire career and you don't walk away with a ring, it's just like, dang. I'm not saying it was for nothing, but yeah, man, I'm jealous of everybody that has a Super Bowl ring. It hurts. I love going and watching the game, but at the same time, I hate it because I don't have a ring.
Well, I appreciate you for admitting that you're jealous of me. Thank you.
Shut up, dummy. So why don't we tell everyone how you and I feel like this is a date. This feels so weird, but like how because I was gonna say how our relationship started, but that sounds so wrong. But what was it? How old is your oldest? Or your second?
She just turned 11. My second is 8 years old.
So
So it's
London is no Sydney is how old is?
8.
So
8.
we
She'll
met
be
8
9
years
in June.
ago?
Has it been that long? No.
Yeah,
So
because
the first
London
time
was
was
already born.
at PAO, right? That was the first time, right?
Yeah, that was in
San
what was
Diego.
that? San Diego?
It was in San Diego.
No, it wasn't San Diego.
It had to be.
It was Florida.
It was Florida because it was Florida because my wife wanted to go down to like Disney World just on a whim, thinking like we could just go in for a day. It was the worst experience of my life. Worst.
PAO
Anyway,
was that bad for you?
it was awful. Like standing in lines, hot. It was
Oh, you talking
terrible.
about Disney?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. PAO was
Oh,
great. Disney,
yeah.
awful. Okay, so here we go. In which Disney's fun, but you just need a plan. Don't just like wing it.
You can't show up on them.
No, you can't just show up and just wing it. All right. Our friendship started literally because we were in the same small group, breakout group at PAO, which is this Christian conference where the NFL puts on, and well, outside the NFL, but it's mostly NFL guys, and then we bring in all these speakers and sing, and it was really great. And me and my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, were like going through stuff. She felt I was not a great dude all the time. I can openly admit that now, but nobody's perfect.
Growth.
And she was feeling like, oh, well, this couple's like this and this one's like this. We weren't married. We had a little baby girl and this, that, and the other. And it was like woo-saw the moment Jackie stepped up and was like, well, I mean, I wasn't married before I had a kid. And then another was like, yeah, me neither. I was like, thank you. See, it's not bananas.
I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one.
I'm not alone.
Are not alone in this. And all of a sudden the conversation started opening up. And I knew who you were, but I never got a chance to meet you. And it was really good to just lean on you and lean on some other couples right there. And we started to build a friendship.
Yeah.
And then from there, we really didn't talk a lot. And then all of a sudden you became my teammate and we just like hit it off. We were the two older guys in the room. I'm not going to say old, but older guys. You were older than I am.
Just say vets. We were the true vets in the room.
We are definitely the true vets in the room. And the funny thing about it all was that Peanut was like the happy-go-lucky person, I would say, in the room. Like always joking, kept everything loose. He had the corners, I had the safeties. And that's what we did. And me and Peanut hung out and became thick as thieves, bro. We hung out all the time when he got to Carolina. And it was just like, dude, this guy's like a brother to me. And I truly, our friendship has only grown since then. And our families as well. Like all our families know each other and they all hang out. And they all get along. It's great. All the kids, everybody.
Which is, I feel like it's rare sometimes. But yeah, we've done trips and we've hung out. The great thing about you and I, though, in Carolina that year was by you taking the safeties and me taking the corners, by us being in the league so long, we just used that veteran leadership. Like it wasn't these great speeches that you and I had.
No,
it was more or less like, look, this is what we do to prepare. This is how we play. This is what you need to look for. I'm old. I'm on my last leg, but I'm able to be I'm in position.
Yeah, all the time.
Benet was quicker, faster. Josh was faster, but it was more or less I had the wisdom.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Same with you though. Like we just
1,000%.
knew where to be and how to get there because we could read the play.
Yep.
And Wilkes used to always tell me, Steve Wilkes, our DB coach at the time, he used to always tell you, like, look, the play is telling you what the play is talking. You just got to listen.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was our role, that 2015 season.
It was amazing to see because the first time, and that was later on that was year 10 for me. And so I played a whole game without having one minus. And Wilkes was mad about it. Wilkes was like, bro, you got to have a minus in here somewhere. And I'm like, I mean, go back. I guess I didn't. But it wasn't like statistically I was blowing it out of the water. But like you were saying, we literally were just vets. We knew exactly where to be.
Yeah.
We didn't have any false steps. Like we were always in the right position. We tackled the ball when we needed to tackle. We got guys lined up when we need to do it. And Peanut showed me that, man, he was the smartest corner I'd ever played with. Most corners don't care about a whole defense, but you actually care about what people around you are doing. Most corners only really care about what they have going on. And so for a safety who always has to kind of be quarterbacking back there, getting everybody going, it was a breath of fresh air to have another bright guy.
Veteran, though. I was taught at a very early age, and when I got in the league, you play faster when you know what everybody else is doing, because I know I don't have to go inside when I know my defensive end, that's his gap. So I can just stay outside. So as long as I stay outside and turn it back inside, I'm going to turn the play back into my defensive end. And then if you got 11 guys kind of thinking like that, that's what makes you better. And I had the privilege, honor of being on some, like, out of the top 100 years in the NFL, I've been on 2 defenses that have ranked in the top, I would say, probably the top 10.
Yeah.
And that was like the mentality that we had, and we were pretty amazing. So after that season, I had to call it quits. Right.
Okay. Hold on. Before you get there, I want to ask you one more thing about this 2015 season.
Okay.
And that is that I want one or two great stories from that season, because I don't think people understand that 2015 Panthers team was a team that kind of like took the NFL by storm.
Oh, yeah.
We burst on the scene. We weren't even supposed to be that good. We weren't that good the year before. We did limp into the playoffs and won a playoff game with 7-8-1. Yeah. And then go up. We traded for Jared Allen at one point in the season. So we had like this great group of like older guys who really did some cool stuff. And so and it was a funny team. Everybody remembers Cam Newton dabbing, but we had the whole world dabbing at one point in time. Tell me like one or two hilarious stories from that season or from that locker room, because it's plenty to go along.
Big Mike
Tolbert, or Michael Orr?
Michael Orr.
Okay.
So everyone knows Michael Orr from
Blindside.
The Blindside, right? So halfway through the season, we end up getting Cortland Finnegan because one of our nickels got hurt.
Yeah.
Was it Benet?
Benet, yep. Benet broke his leg.
Yeah. So Benet Benwickery broke his leg. So we go out and we get a Cortland Finnegan. And it's, you, myself, Cam, AJ, Luke, TD, like just all the older guys, right? We're all on a bus, and most people sit in the same seat. And I just happen to be sitting with Cortland, and Michael Orr sits directly behind me. So we're starting a conversation, and Michael Orr was like, "You remember me, fam?" And Cortland's like, "Damn. Yeah, I remember you." So when Cortland went, I think Cortland was in Tennessee and Big Mike was in Baltimore. They're having a conversation, and at some point during the game, Cortland says, "Hey, man, you that big dummy in that movie." And if you saw The Blind Side, they kind of make Michael Orr seem like he's kind of slow.
Yeah, they did.
So he ends up, and Cortland was like, "Look, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you slow. It was game time. I'm sorry. I'm just competitive. Blah 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 blah." He's like, "Yeah, man, that really hurt my feelings, man. You told me, you called me like I was a big dummy or something." So fast forward the next week, sitting in the same spot. And then me being the investigator, happy-go-lucky guy, was quiet. I'm like, let me just tell a joke or a story or something. So it's like, "Hey, Big Mike, you remember that time Cortland called you a big dummy? He called you a big slow guy?" And he was like, "I do remember that." And then you look at Cortland, and he's like, "God dang it, Peanut, why are you bringing this up every week, man?" And you could tell it was just like ripping a Band-Aid off of Mike's, because you could tell he was frustrated with it. And every week, Cortland was just like, "Come on, man, let that go. Let that go." That was a good one. And then the last one, and I'll do it in 90 seconds, the alligator.
Oh, I was going to say, if you didn't bring up that one, I was going to do that one. I still got video of that.
I have it. Do you want to tell this one?
I mean, I will, but I'm not as funny as you. But you know what I mean, I can try.
All right. So our offensive coordinator,
Mike Shula.
Mike Shula, he tells us a story about the 72 Dolphins with his old man, Don Shula. And to sum it all up, someone had put an alligator in Don Shula's shower for the 72 Dolphins. They had that perfect season, right? So this week, he tells us the same story. All right, cool, whatever. We lose the game. We lost to Atlanta. So now we're like 13-1. And everyone just had like a little, I don't know, tight butthole. Everyone just got real tight, puckered up. We're super nervous because we weren't going to have a perfect season.
14-1. We were
14-1, excuse me. Everyone got super uptight, and the building, the coaches, the players,
all this,
everybody, the entire building. So I went out and bought this fake alligator. And I said, you know what? I'm going to loosen everybody up. I throw this alligator in Coach Rivera's locker. And I get there at like 5 that morning and throw it in his locker. I knew his routine. I figured it out. I figured his routine. So then I'm talking to you. I was talking to you and Kurt. We were getting ready to watch film.
Yep.
And it's like 5:30. We're getting ready to watch film. And all of a sudden,
it was like 6:15. It was 6:15. Not that, but yeah. But you had been there all morning.
I had been there all morning. I was geeked. I was ready, wide-eyed, like just a whole bunch of coffee. Fast forward, I'm telling you and Curtis, like, yo, I just put this fake alligator in Rivera's Chico's locker, man. It's going to be hilarious. And all of a sudden, you see Coach Rivera walk around the corner, and he's barefoot and his shirt's out. He's always got his shirt tucked in. Very professional coach all the time. And he comes around the corner looking like Edward James Olmos from damn Stand and Deliver. And he starts walking toward us, and he was like, you, get over here. And I was like, oh, S-H-I-T. And I was like, all right, should I? Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I got scared. It was like, when your old man tell you something, you get scared, like you in trouble. And I'm 34 years old. I'm a grown ass man, but I was nervous. And he walks up to me, and I was like, I need to lie. Did you put that alligator in my shower? And I was like, and it was a pause because I was like, I'm gonna lie and just say it wasn't me because I can probably get cut or conduct detrimental to the team. And I was like, yes, yes, sir. And he was like, God dang, man, that thing scared the hell out of me, dog. Man, you should have recorded that thing. And then he proceeds to tell us, he was like, yeah, I was finna get in the shower. He's like, I got naked. And then I turned the light on, and then I go in the shower and I see that thing. And he goes, I just screamed and threw my towel on the alligator, and I literally just ran out. And then he was like, it had to be Peanut. 1,000% it had to be Peanut. He's always playing jokes. And as Rome said earlier, I was the happy-go-lucky guy. I was the comedy relief for the team. I didn't like to be serious. I really wanted everyone just to laugh, have a good time. But at the same time, when it's time for us to work, we got to work, and we know when to work, and be professional. I love this job. I love what I did. I love my time there. I love my teammates, the coaches, trainers, managers, equipment managers. We all had fun, and it was just a organic, beautiful experience in Carolina in that 2015 season.
Look, man, I still got videos because that alligator continued to travel on that day and got like 3 or 4 other people. Got Wilkes, got Josh Norman. I got all those on video. Too bad we didn't get Rivera on tape, but everybody else got. I'm glad you shared that story. But all that being said, Peanut, great story. But when did you know it was time to retire? Like, how did you know? I know you were injured your last year. Was it because of the injury? You just like, you know what? Super Bowl loss. I can't keep dragging my family here and there. What was it?
Yeah, I definitely the knee, the torn ACL, year 34 or a 13th season. I was 34 years old, 35, whatever. There was no way another team was gonna bring me back. So I didn't even attempt to try and say, yeah, I want to come back. I'll be back. I was already had somewhat of a bad knee anyway, going into my 13th season when I was in Carolina. So it was, that was when I knew. Just Father Time is undefeated. I don't know if y'all know who Father Time is, but he is literally like 97,000-0 with athletes. He's
Yeah.
literally undefeated. The thing about retiring though is you never retire when you want to. There's only a group of small, or there's only a group of a few individuals who can retire when they want to. And what I mean by that is I really, if I would have wanted, had I not torn my ACL, had I been healthy and we won Super Bowl 50, no doubt I would have retired. There's no doubt. The people that retire the way they want to, in my opinion, are a lot of the ones they win. You know, Ray Lewis is a prime example. I think he did it on his own terms.
John Elway,
Peyton Manning. I don't know. I think JJ Watt kind of did it on his own. I don't know if he retired because of injuries.
Dude, he's been so beat up too. So beat up.
But is that how you really want to go out? Or do you want to go out like on top, like MJ?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was how I envisioned going out, winning a championship and just like, you know what? It took me 13 years. I finally got one. I'm out and just ride off in the sunset. That was I wish I would have been able to do that, but unfortunately, Father Time and injuries, they play a large role in this. But what about you though? When did you feel you knew it was time to retire? Because you went back to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And played another year.
Right. Well, I was ready to retire after the Super Bowl in Carolina. I thought we were just going to win, and then I could just, ride off in the sunset. Me and you holding hands, just, putting the helmets down together. We were just going to be out. I didn't want to, because I played 10 years at that point. I didn't care about much more than that. I thought it was going to be a perfect ending, and I could go out on my own terms, like you said. But then we lost the game, and I just, in my mind, I didn't think God was telling me like, okay, I don't think this is it for you. And like I played this game since I've been in the 4th grade, and like a Super Bowl loss has got to be my last time I'm on the actual field playing on the grass. That would have been a terrible way to go for me for as much as I put into this game.
Yeah.
So I kind of just kept working out. Then my former teammate, Will Smith, got killed that offseason.
Yeah.
And so I was back in funerals and all that other stuff, and being back around the Saints organization for the first time, kind of heavily. And Sean Payton started talking to me and, wondering like what I was going to do. Did I, possibility of maybe coming back? He had a plan or a vision or something. I'm like, I don't really know. I don't want to go back. And but I bit the bullet and I did. And it was the greatest thing for me, just because I got to go back home. I got to rekindle some great relationships with people back in that building and back in the organization. And because of that, it all turned out the way it was supposed to anyway. So then I went back and then
Carolina. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. Did you leave New Orleans like on bad terms with the team?
Yeah, yes, I did. I left. They had drafted a guy the year before, and then they wanted him to start playing, and I was hurt. And so it's not like he really beat me out. They just kind of just put him in. Yeah. And I felt very disrespected after giving the organization 8 years of everything that you have. And then, how it is, like you said, Father Time is who it is. And people upstairs make decisions, and then they make the move. And then I go and, beat them 3 out of 4 times in Carolina. We win the division twice. It was great. It was more of like the biggest, like, middle slap finger. And, slap right back at you,
So I'm gonna show y'all. But don't you think when you play a former team, you have more motivation?
Oh, 1,000% you do. I mean, you
that player's like, man, I'm finna show y'all. Y'all never should have let me go. Y'all should have gave me the money, or you should have let me start. Yeah, I think all teams know that too.
But that was all part of it, and you learn how to let bygones be bygones at the end of the day, and then you just keep it moving. And so being able to go back was really cool, Peanut, because it was like the 50-year anniversary for the New Orleans Saints that year, and I was one of like 3 players that was like on the All 50 team that were still currently playing.
Yeah,
and so for my parents to get to go down on the field with my wife and my kids and be celebrated, and then after all these other things, those things have kind of so all those other things have kind of just happened and brought us all together. So it was really cool, because my wife was like, your dad, I've never seen him smile so hard when he was on the field getting recognized with all these other great players. So it's really cool to let everybody else do that. Now, enough about our careers. Let's talk about after the career. What kind of happens, Peanut? Yeah. And that is the transition. Mm-hmm. And so why do you think so many players have such a hard time transitioning from the game once they retire. I know just the other day on PTI, Booger McFarland was saying that he saw the game as a means to an end,
Right.
and said that the money didn't make sense. Once the money didn't make sense for him anymore, it was time to go. So for him, it was monetarily. Like, their money doesn't mean as much to me, so I can be gone. Some people, for you, injury. What is that transition period like, and why is it so tough, you believe?
I think for everyone it's different. I think at the same time, for me, I feel like I was institutionalized in the sense of I've been doing it since 7th grade. And I had this schedule of, wake up, class, practice, home, homework, dinner, shower,
Do it all over
same
again.
thing. Do it all over again. Then you go to college and it's okay, breakfast, class, practice, dinner, study hall, weekend, you travel, game, do it all over again. NFL, okay, I just wake up, breakfast, meetings, walkthroughs, lunch, practice, same thing, and then you travel. So I had this schedule for so long, and I've been used to that schedule. And then my last play in the NFL was me falling down and like tearing my ACL. And that was like really difficult. Like, dang, that's literally the last play. And so fast forward, you're transitioning. I think I struggled in the sense of I just didn't want to be done. Like, I still felt like I had more to give, and I was hyper competitive, super competitive. I still wanted to compete. I still wanted to play football, and I couldn't. So my mistake was when I transitioned from league to regular life. I didn't give myself enough time off.
No time to decompress.
I didn't give myself any time to decompress. I didn't give myself any time to basically grieve my injury. I didn't give myself enough time to just like celebrate my career and just take time and just kind of come down. I know for some guys, and when they do come back from like overseas, they do a tour or deployment. And I'm not speaking for everyone who has been overseas and been on deployments or whatnot, but from a few guys that I've talked to, they need a little bit of time to decompress to kind of get adjusted back to the regular world.
Yeah.
Because your mind is on something else when you're overseas, when you're in the sandbox. But then when you come back here, I think people expect you just to be normal and just step back into society and just be normal. And I think that was what I did. And I should have just taken a step back, meaning take a year off, take 6 months, and just figure out, what do I really want to do?
Yeah.
And
what are you passionate towards?
Yeah. And I didn't do that because I felt like I just had to keep going and keep going and keep doing things, which I did.
Why do you feel like you have to just keep going and keep going and keep going?
That's just how I'm wired. Like I'm a just like, I want to do this, want to do that. Like I'm wired that way. Like I'm high energy, high sprung. I don't want to sit down. I don't want to sit still. And that was probably my biggest mistake, was like I probably felt like I should have just sat down for 6 months to a year, or just take the season. Just take that season off and just decompress, just chill, figure out what you really want to do, hang out with the wife, hang out with the kids, be the stay-at-home dad, just be more available. And I think because I was just so go, it wasn't the right recipe for me. I'm good. I'm good now, but I think because I was just so go, it hurt me in a lot of ways, where, missing, family time, quality time with the old lady, just things like that. And if I could, whoever's listening, that would be my advice for someone who played a long career, is just take 6 months and just figure some things out, decompress, figure out life, and like, all right, now what's next? I had this amazing career. Now what do I really want to do? And I think that's why I'm envious of you, because you actually did that. How long did you take off?
365 days to the day. I said
365 days to the day.
Yeah. I did absolutely nothing. Whatever I didn't do, I wanted to do something that day and I didn't get it done. I just do the next day. It's okay.
Yeah.
That was literally my mentality.
But I've never been like that though. And that's what I'm saying.
It was hard. But I promised myself this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I had people ask me, why don't you try and do this? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, I'm taking 365 days and do nothing. But the person that gave me that advice was the GM of the New Orleans Saints, Mickey Loomis. He told me that. He said, before you do anything, Roman, you need to make sure you take time. You need to decompress. Like, get away. And like, don't do anything, especially if you can afford to take the time.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. And then
I wish you'd have told me that. I wish to God he would have told me
that. I think you were already on a TV gig.
I was, but it just was. But here's the thing. So when I lost the first Super Bowl back in 07 or 06, that was what, 41. You know what I did? So we took a trip to Vegas, a couple of couples. We went to Vegas the next week. And then I was like, you go, you hang out, you go to a couple shows, you gamble. I would do all that. And then I would wake up and then I would work out. Like I would go to the gym and work out. And I remember Hunter Hillmer, I was like, what are you doing, dude? The season's over. And I was like, I know, but like, I'm ready, man. I'm ready for some more. Like, I don't want to let it go. Like I want to win a Super Bowl, bro. That's why I'm here. I'm not, it's fun to go kick it and hang out in the money, but like, I'm not doing it just for fun. Like I'm trying to win. I want a Super Bowl. And it killed me. So I think having that mentality, like to this day, I still wake up at 6 o'clock. I still work out at like 5:45, 6 o'clock. Nothing is no one's telling me to do that. Like that's just how I am. I'm wired that way. I wake up at like 4:30, 4:45, and I read the news. I figure out what's going on in the world. I do stuff around the house, and then all right, 5:30, 6 a.m. I think I'm gonna just get this lift in real quick, and I get swole, baby. I'm up to 305 on bench now. But I'm wired. By the way, I saw you the 100-pound dumbbell session. I see it. I saw you. I see
Appreciate it, dog.
But okay, that's just how it is.
All right, Peanut, talking about the way you're wired, and clearly it's not all the way right because you can't take time off. But were you wired? What had you going to make you want to do this retirement video?
Alan, so this is my eldest daughter eating a cookie.
I was eating that.
Yeah, she totally looks so different now. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Jackie watching TV in the bed. I smacked the remote out her hand. She's terrible acting. Me and you dancing. The family came on a treadmill and I knocked the remote out your hand. Now, this is funny. My youngest daughter has a spoon of Nutella, and I smacked
he has
it
the
out
best
of her
look
hand.
after you knocked it out.
And then we ended at the Bears facility. And it's me literally clocking out, and it says best day ever.
So that's the Bears facility. I was wondering where. I'm like, where you go? Where's that at?
Yeah, that's Hallis Hall. That's the Bears facility. I went there, and I was just like, I need to clock out. Like I'm legit clocking out, and it was fun. I incorporated, the people that are close to me, ones that I love.
You got AA in there at White Castle, I'm sure. I think I was there for that part of the recording.
Yeah. I got some of my teammates in there. Yeah, man, it was a good time, and it was a way for me to incorporate all of them. And Jared Allen did one, like he literally got on a horse and rode off into the sunset, like some cowboy stuff. I was like, well, I'm not a cowboy. Two, I like the idea. So I wanted something fun, and 30 years from now, I can pull that up and just say, hey, look, this is, I wanted them to be in the video. Yeah. Family oriented. So yeah, it was a lot of fun doing it and making that video. We had a lot of fun doing it.
No, I appreciate it, actually being a part of it. It was kind of funny. I didn't know why you were asking me to do this thing at the time. You're like, no, I'm just gonna slap the remote out of your hand. I'm like, why do you want to slap the remote out of my hand? Just do the video, Roman.
Just do the video. Yeah, it was a good time. You ain't do one, did you?
No. My wife's still mad at me because I won't do. I don't even know if I even said I retired. I don't even know.
You should just do one anyway.
6 years later.
6 years later, you should do a video. You should definitely do a video.
Well, the other day I did a workout video and said I may come back, and I was completely lying. But
yeah,
my boy did call me, said I looked explosive, so I'm good with that. Like,
I saw you. You was doing the march. You was like you was doing a Votes march or something.
yeah, dog.
Well, when the
I'm trying to
Saints
stay
go
right,
marching,
bro.
yeah. So what I really want to get to is Carolina, one of the old school savvy vets, the wisdom that you have, very knowledgeable about the game of football. Why in the hell do you get into TV instead of coaching? Why don't you want to share that knowledge that you have up there? Why just talk on TV?
Well, that means I get to share it with more people. Honestly, as a coach, my dad's a coach, so coaching's in my blood. I don't deny that, and
Yeah.
I know I could be a good coach, but I don't want to continue to give football my whole heart and my emotions, because I know what it takes to win, and I know you got to be all in, and I know when I lose what I'm like. I'm not always pleasant. I understand I'm not perfect, but for me, just to be able to talk the game has been so much more pleasant, because I get to be around the game all the time, especially being working with the SEC network. I'm talking college football all the time. And so college is just the gateway to the NFL. And, I get to be around the game. I get to travel on the weekends. I got an awesome gig with the network, and it's been really cool. But I always believed that the media was the enemy. Like, that's what I was taught. You got to be careful what you say to the media. You got to be careful with what you give them, because they're going to change it and put it and twist it however they want to. And that's not who you want to be with. They were like the dark side. And now I'm part of the dark side. So
some of them are evil.
I know most of them are not evil.
Most of them are not evil. I will apologize to all those reporters, but when you're a young 22-year-old in the league, you're taught like, hey,
that's the enemy.
They are the enemy. Like, stay away. Don't tell them nothing. As I got older, I got to know a few media personnel in Chicago. And was like, this person had my number, and like I could give them an interview, but it was real, and they could critique me professionally, and it didn't make it personal or anything like that. But there's a few people that are in it for themselves. So my advice is just be same you. I don't think you're gonna be anyone's enemy.
No, I will not be. And my only thing is that I can be critical, but as long as I'm fair, right?
Yeah.
I'm fair and I'm honest. And as long as I tell it from what my eyes see, then like, how can you be mad? Fans take it personal, but players and coaches don't. They're just so much better about all that.
Yeah. So I'm a little disappointed in you, because you never invited me. So we got something in common with Louisiana, right? I went to school there. You played there professionally, and recently got inducted to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, and then you got inducted into the Saints Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I was mad that I didn't actually get a ticket to the event, because I wanted to see you at the event. I went to the party that you had, and it was dope. Had an amazing time. Amazing. I held your son the whole night. I put him to sleep. I just rocked him to sleep. How amazing. Tell me about that night. Tell me about that experience.
Well, I will, because what I didn't know was that the Bears don't have a Ring of Honor. And it's something to do with the stadium, is what you were speaking to me about, because I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, you guys, the Chicago Bears are one of the most storied teams of all time. They're the second most winning team in NFL history, behind the Green Bay Packers, because they've been there that long. And so that blows my mind that nobody's like retired, or they don't have a Hall of Fame with all those great names and players that have impacted the NFL, not just Chicago. But for me personally, dude, it was cool. And the best thing about it was that it was a celebration of me, and that all my accomplishments, and that I actually felt appreciated by the organization that turned their back on me. And then I got to come back 3 years later and kind of let bygones be bygones. And then all of a sudden they give you your flowers, right? And so I was very appreciative of that I got to go in while I'm still here. Also, my kids are a little bit older and they actually understand it and they appreciate it. And they actually really, really thought it was cool. Like my older son, for the first time, was like, Dad, you're like good. Like to him, I'm just dad because he never got to see me play ball. But he was like, man, you're like good, Dad. Like that's really cool. Like, so I actually appreciated that. I appreciated that I got to take a picture with even Soul because he was just born. He was a baby, but he was still there. And so I got this picture, and so I have this memory. And for me, it was more important to thank those and to be proud and talk about those that actually put and invested into Roman when you didn't get anything from investing in Roman Harper, when you were in high school, when you were in college, and nobody cared about all those things. But for me, it was more of a celebration about my parents, my wife, my kids, my family, and really talking about all that they meant to me and that I wanted to celebrate them in this time when everybody wanted to celebrate me. So for me, that's what it was all about, Peanut. And it's really special. I got some pictures from it, but other than that, dude, it was just good to have another party with my homies.
Yeah, good times, man. It was well-deserved, one hell of a career. A lot of.
I mean, Chicago needs to do theirs right, bro. So then you can get yours too, and hopefully you'll be in the Hall of Fame, and I get to go there to Canton with you and celebrate you and yours. So that's all I care about, bro. It's just the relationships that this game allows us to have is way more important than any play, any tackle, any interception that you'll ever remember, because those are the things that you carry with you. Like you can take a game ball, but it's just on the wall. It's just
yeah. The relationships that you build throughout your time in this organization or the NFL in general, they go much further and they're way more important. There's no doubt.
Peanut, two-part question for you. I worked on this last night. What trait do you believe best defined you as a player in the NFL or in college or just as a normal football player? The other part of it is, what trait best defines you now? Is it the same trait or is it a different trait?
I would say my superpower or trait would be manifestation.
Yeah. Okay.
And
we've talked about this a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead. Dive into that.
Whatever I thought, whatever I could think of or dream, or whatever goal I would set, I obtained it. And that's lifetime. That's from a kid. That's college. That's NFL. That's post-football career. Manifestation. That's my superpower. Jackie was telling me that the other day. If it was something that I truly wanted, whether it be a Pro Bowl, something individual based.
Yep.
That I could
make it happen.
I could make it happen. And for the most part, all individual goals, I wanted to get a master's degree. I wanted to graduate in 3.5 years. I wanted to get drafted on the first day. I wanted to run a 4.40. I wanted to make a Pro Bowl. I wanted to be first team all pro. I wanted, just all these things that I told myself I would manifestate this thing in my these goals in my brain, and I obtained them.
How about now? What's the trait? Is it still manifesting over there?
I think I would just say just hard working. I got grit. Like I'm not the biggest, not the strongest, but I just got grit, man. I got an attitude. I always have a chip on my shoulder. I've always been the underdog. We were talking a little bit earlier, and it was like, all of our programs are doing good except yours. Like, that's truth. I won 6 games in college. I don't think people know that. I won 6 games in college. College football.
They got drafted in the second round still.
I won 6 games. But here's the thing, though. A lot of teams would like, oh, we got Louisiana Lafayette. And I would be like, yo, we playing Alabama. We might get beat 62-3. But guess what, Rome? I'm finna ball. Like, that was always my mindset. Like you gonna part. I'm not gonna curse, but y'all gonna SHIT on 10 other players, but you're not gonna do that on me because I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
And I had this grit about myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what that's just kind of who I am and what I was.
I love it. I love it.
So I got a silly question for you. When did you start developing gray hair?
In 8th grade, I got my first gray hair, according to my barber. He told me he was cutting my hair. He's like, dude, you got a gray hair up here in the back. And I was like, how? There's no way. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm up here. It's gray. I was like, well, are you going to pull it out or something? Like, you got to get rid of it, right? He's like, no. I heard that's bad luck. Like, if you do that, like 2 or 3 more come. So I was like, all right, well, just, don't worry about it. Like, it's just one of them. And they literally been coming in ever since then. So whatever it is and whatever grade that is. So I was probably 13, 14.
13, 14, gray hair.
Yeah, got gray hair. And so that's why I've never dyed it. And I know you tried to start a GoFundMe before to try and raise enough money to get me to dye it for like
I'll pay you $1,000 right now. You dye your hair black.
It's not going to happen. But I appreciate it as always. And you've offered me way more than that before.
You can give it to charity. I just want to see you with all black.
Look, I won't do it because everybody that knows me since 8th and 9th grade have known me with gray hair or a little bit of gray hair. And I never wanted them to be like, oh, Roman made it. Oh, he changed.
If y'all don't know what Roman Harper looked like, he is a 30-year-old male who looks like he's about 45 because he is just gray all the way out.
Yeah,
when I met you at PAO, I thought you were the 13-year vet. I know. I was like, wait, he's only been in the league 2 years. Damn, that's a lot. You look like Obama. You look like President Obama after one term. Obama came in looking young, and then he left looking like you. You look like 8-year Obama at day one.
So the funny thing is, bro, is that you win the Super Bowl. This is another little great story. We got to get this in real quick. So because you bring up Obama. So 2 things. So my boy Lee Torrance comes in. We bring him off the street. He comes up to me immediately like, yo, what's up? What's up, vet? You know what I'm saying? Like old school, da-da-da. I'm like, bro, I'm younger than you by like 3 years. He's like, whoa, didn't know that. Sorry, apologize. Then we win the Super Bowl. All right. Win the Super Bowl. Obama comes up to me and is like, hey, he daps me up. He's like, oh, you must be the old guy on the team. I'm like,
oh no,
I'm not. Like, not. Everybody in the room dies laughing because I was just my 4th year in the league, bro. And he was like, oh, you must be the old guy on the team. Like, okay, man, I see you. I'm like, no, not at all. Like, not at all, sir.
I don't think you've ever told me that story that Obama thought you was old.
Literally,
it's a wrap then.
The whole room died laughing. So then he keeps walking, shaking guys' hand. He meets one of my guys, Remy Adele, who had like this crazy mohawk, like straight mohawk straight up. And he was like, hey, at least you ain't got this guy's haircut. I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, you kind of looking like me though. You know me, real talk, because he had started going real gray at that time too. So it was
having the secrets to the noose. That'll put some stress on anybody.
Hey, look, man, I felt cool because Barack said more to me than he had said to anybody else. All right. I got another one for you. Peanut, I know you're a big quote guy. What is your all-time favorite quote?
All-time favorite quote. I would have to say differences are what make champions, not the similarities. And the biggest difference is how we think. Champions think differently. And what I mean by that is 32 teams in the NFL, right? You can take the biggest difference between the Philadelphia Eagles this year and I would say the Chicago Bears is the mentality. It's our thought process. It's how we think. And if you were to take those 2 teams and put them at a combine right now, they'd
be similar.
They'd be extremely similar. The 40 time bench press, the way they run routes. But champions, You know, the Tom Brady's, he thinks differently. You know what I'm saying? He has a championship mentality right here. That organization, when they were winning, they had that championship mentality. And it showed from the entire building all the way down to the player, probably to even the custodian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
No
a
doubt.
mentality. It's not just individual based. And you have to have 52 guys plus owners, plus president, plus GM, coaches, trainers. You have to have all those people believing that this is a championship or this is a championship organization, championship organization. And I think that's what I mean when I say that champions, they think differently. I'm gonna take off this morning. No, I'm champions, they gonna get up and go, they're gonna persevere, they're gonna keep going, they're gonna keep pushing through. So yeah, that's that one.
I love
Our
that.
doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we off might win by fearing to attempt.
What? Hold on, whoa. Say that again.
Our doubts are traitors and make us fear the. See, now you got me. Our doubts are traitors and make us. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. Our doubts are traitors and make a. I got to pull it up. I'll come back to it. But it's a William Shakespeare quote. Okay. And essentially, he's talking about our doubts are traitors and make us something by fearing to attempt. It'll come back to me. Essentially, when you start to doubt yourself, you're a traitor. You know, don't listen to your doubts. Yeah, they're going against you. Just trust your gut instinct. Yeah, that's another good one. Okay, a man is what he thinks about all day long.
All right,
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Peanut. So here's another question for you. So early in this season, we did a sit down and was on the podcast with Thomas Q. Jones, and so he thinks he deserves a lot more credit. I think he deserves all the credit for you perfecting the peanut punch. Right. You know, he said you would just constantly chase him down. It was all these other things. We got some video. I want to pull up the video for it. I want you to take a listen and then tell me what you think.
All right.
I think some of the peanut punch, I deserve some of the credit for that because I have I have nerve damage in both of my elbows because of him punching the ball out of my arms in practice every day, chasing me down. You know, so he practiced a lot of that peanut punch on me and irritated me a lot, but he also helped me make sure I'm holding on to the ball. So we helped each other.
Yeah, he's not lying. I think he and every other offensive person on the Bears, Carolina as well, they helped me perfect that peanut punch. It was something that I don't know. I was just thinking outside the box, trying to be different. You know, I wasn't the big guy to hit you to separate you from the ball. I'm gonna just punch it out. My very first NFL game, I got a peanut punch. I forced a fumble, and it was something that I was intentional about doing it all the time. It was just I thought about it. It was on my mind. It was get the ball out, get the ball out. We did it so much. Coach Smith was like, "Hey, big guy, I need you right now. Going to do your thing. We need the ball back." And I think for me, I don't want to call it pressure, but it was respect for your head coach to literally walk over to him like, "Hey, I need you to get the ball back right now. We got to win this game."
Yeah,
I literally remember we did it against Dallas one year, and we were losing, and he was like, "Hey, we got to get the ball back. You go get it." Oh, yes, sir. You know, and so for me, it was just one of those things. Like when you entrusted me to go get it, and you put the team on your back. We need you to go get the ball back, and he's not telling anybody else that. Like I took that as honor and like, wow, okay, I got to do my job. So I was very appreciative of that responsibility.
No, man. Even more honor is that I saw you do it in Carolina, and it like everybody started doing it. And I didn't even know how you got the ball out all the time. But then all of a sudden, Coach Wilkes is like, "Roman, right here, you should just punch that out." I'm like, "Bro, I don't know how to do that stuff. That's Peanut's thing. Like, why are you putting all this pressure on me all of a sudden that, you know, up until Peanut got here, you didn't even say anything. That was like a good tackle." Now it's like, no, I mean, like right here, just punch right there. Anyways, Also, another
I
way to
like
say it is that
it's fun.
Sean Payton, when we were in New Orleans, literally playing against Chicago Bears, he's like, look, guys, this week, no yak. I don't need anybody getting any extra yards. This guy, Peanut Tillman, I don't want to see the ball on the ground. I don't want to see it. And you still got the ball out. So it was
Reggie
like,
Bush.
it still got the ball out. So it just was one of those things. It irritated a lot of people.
Yeah.
Peanut, I
All
got
right.
one more question, and then I'm going to be done with you. Then you can ask
Okay.
me a question if you want to.
All right.
When Charles Peanut Tillman is an old, crusty, ashy knuckle having guy, what would you like people to say about Peanut Tillman's football career?
I would like them to say that Charles Peanut Tillman was a guy who didn't talk a whole lot. He didn't give the greatest speeches, but he came to work every day with his helmet and his lunch, and he just worked. You know, he wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the fastest. He was an underdog in life, and he always came out on top because he put the work in, loved his teammates, would do anything for his teammates and his friends. But yeah, he put the work in, and he was a team-oriented guy. If it was for the betterment of the team, he would do it. He would sacrifice whatever he needed for his teammates. And one of the best guys you'd ever want to play for. He all-time favorite teammate.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's not about the I don't want whatever about the peanut punch. It was just I was a team guy. I was a team player, and I was there for my teammates. I think that's because that's to me that's what this game's about. It's
really
about
is.
team and family. I would hope people would just say he was the ultimate team player. The ultimate team player.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Same.
That's why I
Same
have
to
to
you.
ask.
When you're bald, because you're already old and crusty. But
I'm
when
not
you're
going bald.
when
Don't
you're
you wish that evil on me.
but when you go bald, because that's the next. You're gonna go bald, your
No,
nose gonna
don't
get
you
bigger,
say that.
your
No.
ears gonna get bigger.
My hairline's really good.
You
Still
do got a
kinda
good
good.
hairline, but your ears gonna get a lot bigger, and you're gonna start getting hair out coming out your ears. What are people gonna say about what are people gonna say about Roman Harper Sr.?
For me, what I would love for them to say is that that I was a pro's pro.
Yeah.
That I was constantly doing the little things right. I studied, I work hard, and that if I was a pro, like that's the ultimate compliment for me. Is that man, he was a real pro. He was a dude, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Simple.
Now, you know how we do the Mount Rushmore in the past. Who's on your personal Mount Rushmore?
Well, I got to put my dad up there because he was the first one to wear number 41.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that. And he's just a great dude. We've become so much closer as we've both gotten older.
Yeah.
Just because I'm no longer just like his little son. Now he looks at me like a man with responsibility. And I can't have my dad up there without my mom. And then probably my wife, because she's been my biggest fan. She's my hardest critic. I mean, dude, she's ridiculous. I love her to death, but sometimes she's my adult roommate, and sometimes you need that. And and then I would probably say it'd be unfair to put one of my coaches up there without the others. Coach Clark, my high school coach, means the absolute world to me, for how much he impacted me. But I would just pick the University of Alabama up there instead, because I'm so Roll Tide through and through. Like, that's where I'm from. That's the state I'm at. Like, it means so much to me. So it's all in my background right now. So I would say those would be my four. So mom, dad, my wife, and the University of Alabama.
Okay. And last question. You seem like just knowing you, and we talk a lot we talk a lot offline, just about life and things like that. But I don't think
Who's on did you tell me your Mount Rushmore?
No. So my dad, and I swear I'm not copying you.
Yeah, but
my dad was my pops was in the military, and as a kid, I thought my dad was Roadblock from G.I. Joe. You know what I'm saying? I just thought it was the coolest thing, him being in the Army and us moving overseas.
Yeah.
So my pops was my hero. Still is to this day. Love him to death. And we just got our relationship is, you know, father and son. He's my friend, but yet I know he's still my dad. So dad for sure. My mom for her caring and loving personality, and just I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
And just her loving and caring personality just when I was a kid, and how infectious she was on me, and attitude and giving back and being respectful, and the fact that she didn't take any SHIT from anybody.
Yeah.
She kind of gave me that grit. So those are two. I'd say number 3 would be a good friend of mine named John Wright. Great mentor, taught me a lot about the whole mental toughness. He see things differently as far as like the brain and how it works and how you can manifest something. I was already doing it, but he kind of put words to it to make me understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the last one is Jackie, I would say, because I think she's challenged me in so many ways
Yep.
that I didn't know. And when I played, she would send me these texts and it would just say, "Be amazing." And I don't think I really noticed how powerful those were until I stopped getting them because I stopped playing.
Yeah.
You know, biggest critic, didn't always want to hear it. Still don't want to hear it sometimes. But they're right. She was right. She is right. And yeah, biggest critic, I would say her. And yeah, those would be my top. Those would be my 4 on my Mount Rushmore. Yeah, those are my 4. So that being said, your life, we talk a lot offline, not doing this. I think I know what this will be, but I want you to fill in the blank with this one. Right now, my life is blank.
I would say a blessing, and it's really truly because you know, I'm a daddy daycare guy. You know me. In my opinion, bro, I'm top 3, top 5 dad in the country. Like, and right now, not having football, I'm all in on being a basketball dad. I take pride in enjoying that every single day. I love picking my kids up. I love being involved, and all I'm trying to do is just be the best version of myself every day. I wake up to it, and it's challenging, but I'm all I can do is just try and be the best version of myself, and I don't worry. I don't blame myself for all the mess ups anymore. So that's what I would say, man. My life is a blessing. Every single day, I truly try and enjoy every second of it, and trying to put my best foot forward, and not apologizing for that. I would ask the same thing. Your life, Peanut Tillman's life today is.
I'm comfortable.
Uncomfortable or comfortable?
No, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
I don't always know if that's a good thing.
No, it's because I'm growing, I'm evolving.
You're learning to be comfortable. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm comfortable now.
Okay.
I'm comfortable in the space that I'm in. I'm comfortable in the space that I'm in. I'm growing, I'm learning something new. You know, I think this is just a phase of just about to be in a new season of just learning something new.
Good.
But I'm comfortable with where I am in life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not blaming anybody for anything. I'm comfortable. I'm okay in the space that I'm in right now.
Well, I like that, because for a long time you were rat racing it. You don't know if you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that.
Yeah.
You're chasing these things, and for you to say that I'm comfortable is a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm
all right, well, good. Well, Peanut, thank you for having me. And thank you for coming on to my podcast. and let me interview you. So I appreciate it. Thank you to all the listeners out there. Me and Peanut probably went a little long. Hopefully we can edit this thing down. If can't, who cares? Tune in next week. It'll be even better. All right. I want to ask you guys to spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to come out, check us out, listen to us, give us a rating, a review, and make sure you hit that button, follow on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you listen to your podcast, iHeartRadio app, or anything else. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you later. Peace.